again, we've been surprised all day long.
Well, and look who's already kicking it off. Breadman finding Drake off rip. So we saw Breadman go down pretty early on in that last game before the break. C9 not going to let it happen here again. Already kind of sitting around here towards that side of the map. But over at Chemical, it's looking to already get mixy right off the drop.
Yeah, 3 different squads essentially here. Vitality are split. That's number 1 in red that you're starting to see. But you can already see new icons. Get a good read. Huskers nearby. They find the kill. And all of a sudden, Steve-O actually makes his presence known. So an extra elimination on Brolic essentially gifts Chemical straight up already to new icons.
Yeah, and I really like this on the other side of that. AB Wiz, you're kind of holding this regain spot. You are right outside this sort of area of the map. You know that C9 is potentially nearby. You're all together, but you have enough space that you can back up if you need to, and that's exactly what's going to happen. A little bit of respect going down between these two teams. You don't need to push this early on, but as I look towards the kill feed, we are seeing something happen right now between Team Omit and Fnatic.
And Almond has been that guy.
Yeah.
He was that guy yesterday, really helped Fnatic hold on to a decent seed, and right there it looks like he just bailed his team out of a really difficult situation as Atlas trying to follow up. Uzi in hand, just whatever he could find to shoot with, and it works out for at least an initial down. Help is on the way by Foreign Jace, but he could not get here in time, so the down gets reaffirmed, and Jace also gets knocked from a different squad. Wars in the mix.
A little bit tough there. Wars at range, just kind of jumping on in, like you said. More sniper rifle. Maybe you get a wall bang quickscope coming on out of that. Oki holding this shed, getting some great damage. Prodigy finally will go from an angle, brings them on down. Prodigy the only player with the loadout in hand, probably leading to a lot of success with that opening gunfight.
Keep your eye on Team 7. That is Guild from essentially the high ground, getting a really good evaluation of what's happening below them. And it looks like with the elimination onto another Cloud9 member, they're trying to get full control over through this backside area, and they have actually pushed off Abwiz and Co. So again, that little vying for position early on the coastline starting to come through.
Well, in their classic position, you got Team Falcons down here at the stronghold. Biffle does find a recon drone, and that should give them some solid information on where this other team is kind of sitting around there. So might be able to give them what they need to start making a push, start getting some early eliminations. But on top of Prison, look who's still battling it out. It's Fnatic and Gaming Gladiators, as Noobs will be able to bring down Huskers, but it's a little bit of a trade right now, and we're seeing a disengagement.
Yeah, Brolic falling off right there. Essentially, you have to commit to saying no more action here. Speaking of action, by the way, we really gave a lot of credit to Team Zizix, who had a really tough opening drop last map versus Na'Vi. They were in another difficult pickle again. This time, though, they do get really brought back towards what we expected to see versus Na'Vi. They are already eliminated out, so not a great start for them, kind of following off the success they had from their second place finish in their last drop.
Well, and Heretics, they last time we saw them in the lobby, they were feeling themselves. They were doing pretty solid. So already back over here at control, we're seeing Daga doing a great job, kind of just holding this opening. Whoo! As we come on over, a little bit of a quick scope there on the Clapper, brings him on down. And I love this. You immediately go on up. You try to take the fight on top, but Zakar is there. And then, not today. Slams him on down.
That's a huge save from Zakar. Legitimately, they were in more than dire straits. Clapper still trying to get his feet underneath him. Not going to work out, but again, Zakar right there saying, get off my guy. Method Sick will go back to the respawn, and Cams now has to wait for Daga to come back in off the parachute.
And this is just, I don't know what it is about control, but we are just seeing some farming happening. Cam flies on through the hip fire with the Superi is hit. He's able to find the full and then take down Zakar. Finally, it looks like maybe the battle for control going to the Heretics.
Yeah, and they need that regain really badly. Daga coming off of the respawn method's the same thing. As we head on over to a different point of view, Shifty in a little bit of trouble here. An awkward 1v1 that he will back off of just for a moment. Find someone else to take shots at, and that's JTech who will drop. Should be confirmed for the kill, no worries, and that will get Shifty a second kill.
And I love if you kind of look at this mini-map in your upper left-hand corner, what you can see here. You can see Shifty is kind of moving around the map by himself as part of that team. Falcon Soka's kind of coming back on in. Biffle playing it a little bit safe just to ensure that his Soka came back on into the mix. So while sort of Biffle's playing his life, making sure he's staying online, Shifty not afraid to get aggro as he's made his way over towards Factory. Might be able to cause some chaos here for the Onyx Raiders.
Yeah, and that's another team that, again, is sitting kind of at the bottom of Group C. They could desperately use some points here in this drop to once again try to find themselves as part of the conversation, find a little bit more breathing room before we enter into day number 2. Amit also in some trouble here. Tenix is trying to swim to the bottom of the ocean, and he's found a little bit of safety here, at least enough to play, but you can see Rocket saying, you got to come up for air eventually, brother.
Yeah, eventually you have to be able to get up here, but maybe some pistol shots from underneath, maybe can connect, cause something to happen, but Rocket gonna really just commit to saying, no, I'm not giving this up. The amount of time I spend trying to make sure I can bring you down is worth it because it gives them just so much space on the map. But look at this. Tenix, he's bobbing and weaving. The smoke comes out from Rocket. He's got to disengage.
It didn't look like Rocket had any more plates left. So now all of a sudden, Tenix is going to be able to get onto dry land. Has an opportunity to pluck him a weapon. No way. Oh my goodness, Rocket. You almost got put on Reddit, my guy, but at least able to snap back, take care of Tenix, and we'll finish off elimination. But all this has been heard, and here come the Falcons trying to swoop in, but so are Onyx Raven right over the top of this. They're trying to fight over the top side of this backside ship.
If you're the Onyx Ravens, though, you got to have a plan for how you want to take this fight. It's not enough to just start flying on in. Mojo, he's going to land deep. An armor crack from Shifty is there, but that basically just makes their presence known and says you do not need to come on over here. But look at sort of the positioning right now. That's what I love to see. They're sort of gatekeeping a lot. Back on over, sort of to this other side of the map. Guild, they're looking to still get involved in the same area against Team Abwiz.
Yeah, and Abwiz's squad, again, is right up at the top in terms of how they've started things off. Prodigy in some trouble backside staircase. Thermite just gonna be a little bit too deep, and Vision will fall. Abwiz able to secure the knock and also elimination. AJ also in trouble at range, and Oki able to melt him. So now it's just down to Wards. He's down to a single bullet, can't get away. Elo's able to find it, and that's the end of Guild.
I just keep looking at this kill feed, and I am seeing Team Omit kind of just every sort of 30 seconds, more and more eliminations on there. And they are wiping some very, very good squads while they are doing it. As we are getting here, we're at the end of circle zone number 2,
yes,
and we still have 11 teams up. We're missing 3 in this lobby. So players, seems like now, maybe kind of getting back on in, getting a little bit more aggressive, getting a little bit more loose.
And this is where you start to see possibly Falcons step into the conversation a touch. This is where they usually do well right before that respawn timer comes to an end. But Fnatic, you look at their position, they're very comfortable. Now, I will say they will have to rotate out of this spot eventually, but for the moment, and until zone number 3 closes, they could just hang on to this entire side of the circle. The next closest team would be number 3 in Falcons, just down to their bottom right.
Yeah, I mean, if they kind of position themselves great, you maybe could take out the Falcons, but, you know, or you can just kind of hang out here, wait for the zone to close on in. You can fly towards top prison, kind of maintain that height throughout the map. We'll have to wait and see. As we can see, the Falcons already over here towards Factory. They're hot on the move, though. They see Castillo in the sky. The shot's coming in. Holger 26 for Biffle as he is able to bring down Castillo. Will get confirmed. That's going to be AG Global, only with 2 players left.
Yeah, that's just, that is so tough. If you look back over what happened with Guild, again, it looked like they were off to a really solid start. I mean, the kills were incredibly well put together. They had 10 in total before being eliminated, but again, no placement multiplier. That's going to feel like a major missed opportunity. Maybe just overstepping their bounds just a touch.
Well, you know, even for a team like that, though, even if 10 is your worst, maybe you're okay with that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, if that's your bad game, hey, that's better than a lot of teams are putting up over the course of, you know, their entire group stages that is there. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously not how you want to go out, but maybe a couple little changes there in the plan. You're feeling a lot better. But back over here on Prison, it is a party. And so we got about 4 different teams trying to vie for space.
And at the moment, again, Team Abwiz continue to impress. Prodigy able to deal with Nenu's, at least for the time being. Vitality been quiet to this point. Only a couple of kills, but all 3 of them looking very healthy, looking very primed and ready to take the next set of engagements, which they're going to have a handful nearby because on the rotation in are also new Icons, and Patsuka does get a read, plus the Beamer. Help from Exian gets them into a fighting form to also just kind of hold on to this building. They're on the hunt for Lucanas.
I mean, I love it. Patsuka, he's known as the shooter for this team, but look who's laying in wait. It's Lucanas. You said they were trying to find him. Lucanas, though, he's able to grab one, but unfortunately, Exian not going to let that 2v1 happen here today. Flies on in, able to make that trade. A really sort of kind of nice way to stay alive. Keep your team in it if you are Team Vitality.
Well, Squad 14 will be eliminated, as we saw kind of in the kill feed just underneath the minimap. That is the Onyx Raven squad. So another one bites the dust right before we start to get this next circle closing deeper and deeper as we will head over mostly into the industry's location. Shifty, Hisoka, finding themselves in the kill feed. They have eliminated out our top team, at least currently in terms of total kills. That was Team Vitality. That gets taken down. And so now Falcons look like they're possibly looking to dominate the middle of the map.
Well, and on the other side of the map, still top Prison playing this late side of zone. Fnatic. See some of the nades coming out onto Castillo as Almond hops on up. Some shots coming, causes him to have to back on up. But I don't know, if you're Fnatic, I maybe want you to play around Almond just a little bit more. You're up here, but it's very obvious somebody has your number. They know that you're sitting up top here. The rest of AG Global is down below. Almond, he'll kind of take the opportunity, though, to move on out. So you got Skullface also still up here. Some good shots onto Castillo. Can you be able to get the confirm with the Semtex? Does it land? Doesn't look like it. Castillo staying alive.
Lots of damage for Skullface, and at least some high ground superiority reaffirmed here for Fnatic, getting into the next circle. You can see all the amount of teams that are going to be vying for position inside the prison block, though. And Amit, just on the outside, kind of just tucked in a corner. I mean, legitimately, right between about 3 different squads, but they're just playing for position right now, and being the third party here is what they want to try to do.
And I actually really like this spot, right? You can catch a lot of teams that are trying to sort of fly around here, right? That maybe are not expecting somebody or even two of you to just be laying in wait. And even if somebody does slide in, you got that third player up on top who maybe can kind of create a little bit of a sandwich. So, and as the zone kind of moves here on our minimap that you can see, that's a great spot to already be able to set up on.
And there's a lot of space inside the circle. It's just Heretics currently in. Up to their northeast, Falcons will have a pretty easy rotation into the high ground of Industries, and then over to the northwest, Abwa's squad, still fully healthy, can just walk into the new zone. So here on the bottom side, where you see Team Fnatic trying to rotate through, is where all the action's going to come out. You've got AG Global still underneath, plus also a look over, at least at range, to where Abwa's team is starting to rotate in as well.
And I love this. Almond immediately, he kind of takes that first shot, says, I don't need to stay up here. Gonna take Mountaineer, use it to drop on down. Trying to be able to hold the wall here. Don't need to sit out here for too long, but hey, Omit, I said they can maybe find some people on the rotation, and they are. Castillo taken on out. They are looking for more. Everybody slowly but surely trying to march on into zone.
And this mortar strike is really punishing towards trying to get Team Abwas fully focused into the zone. Although the timing of this may not work out great here for Fnatic. They knew that there was a rotation in, but the smoke plus the mortar strike may have deterred them from finding the action that they want. So now they're on just opposite sides of the wall, and you can see the team down low as Heretic still hanging on as the zone starts to get really tight. Here we're still full 7 teams up.
That's what has me worried. If you are Team ABWiz, maybe you push out, you start taking this fight against Fnatic. It doesn't look good, so you say, hey, we're going to fly out the back, but Heretics is going to be laying in wait. You have to make this play really, really smart. Falcons, on the other hand, they're willing to just kind of start making their way on in. They've cut out a lot of this zone. They know where some of these teams are. They can put themselves in some power positions.
Vision in a little bit of trouble. Zakar able to get the plates back up, but Rockets on the other side, so they're going to be playing this one essentially 1v multiple. Here come Falcons around the outside, but a bit does get taken down, stuck in that corner like we saw. They never were able to rotate away. Now you go back over to Falcons as they are still winning this zone. Plus, look at the rotation. They're going to have the ability to hold on to this while this thing starts to move their direction.
This is scary. If you are the Falcons, you are feeling good right now. You're starting to see some of those shots come on in. Prodigy will get taken on out. ABWiz deleted, but Guzamir is going huge in the kill feed. Heretics, you'll get taken on out. We're into the top 5.
The Vamos can go a multitude of ways with squads that are still alive, although they will drop out. A little bit of team action for both Skullface as well as remaining Falcons members, who now all of a sudden, the Falcons have complete idea of where Fnatic is. It's just right above them, but they can find shots and damage through the grates of the floorboard, and that's enough for another knock. Just one more to grab, and it's right above Biffle, and I think they're very aware that, yep, we have full control of where this next zone's going to be.
It is just Fnatic scrambling on this water tower. Skullface has managed to find the one piece of cover that you can't wallbang through. Well, that's until it's just your face a little bit through the grate. Biffle trying to make his way left and right around. Maybe they can find it. Shifty will take down Almond as the Falcons are looking to close out this game in this first stage cruise.
What a resurgence, no pun intended, back into the map for Team Falcons. The kill tally is high as it's just Clapper left, and he's making this really nasty, I'm not gonna lie. He's going to be able to tally another elimination onto Biffle. Clapper still in good fighting form here. He's got Thermites to deal with. Hold on a second. He can make this a mess.
I like this a lot. Clapper doing whatever he can to stay alive. I don't know. Do you try and 2v1 this, or is he just going to maybe say, all right, I'm staying up here. I'm in gas.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to give the Falcons this, but PDS is in. You can see Shifty and Soka. They're looking on up. He actually might be able to win them in a heal-off.
This is doable. Wait. Surely not. No, Shifty's not going to allow him to get away with this.
He's got another PDS, buddy.
Okay.
He's got another one.
Hold on a second. I think Clapper heard the initial, and Biffle's going to get knocked. No way he pulls this off.
2v1. Still staying down below, but they have a PDS as well. Shifty able to do it, but it's going to be Hisoka at the end. Brings them on down. You can see they're excited. The crowd's excited for them. The hometown team come back on it. Soka with the point. Team Falcons, they are alive.
And now it's time to showboat a little bit for the whole crowd. Get a little bit of extra jazz in the arena. Yeah, that's a big one, though. Again, we talked about it, you know, all day yesterday.
Yep.
Their event to lose. And, well, after the first day, I think we're all sitting here like, whoa, hold on a second, guys. I mean, they still put together a decent seed, but they find themselves in this very difficult Group B. But that feels like the